What's going on, guys? Ryan here from the Krusty Krew, and today I'm bringing you the week 2 of our top 5 raid series. Now we're starting off number 5 with Frank. He had just over, I think, 600,000 in loot, about 300,000 gold and 300,000 elixir. Now this is an inactive base, which is real popular in like gold 3-ish. You're going to be seeing a lot of inactive base farming. Now this is a pretty common raid, didn't have a whole lot of submissions this week for the top 5 raids, but definitely work on that for next week. So he's just going to use an all archer raid, which I've also been seeing a lot of lately. Usually I see a lot of Barch getting submitted, stuff like that. A lot of Barch coming across the clan chat with like maybe 80 barbarians, like 120 archers. Obviously depends on the town hall you are. But now I've seen a lot of all archer raids lately, and I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just easier to train, don't have to like queue your barracks differently. You just have to fill them all with archers, but takes a little bit longer to train, and I find Barch more effective in my opinion, but I guess you could see like barbarians getting stuck on walls and things, so archers might be easier to like take out the buildings that are like one wall inside of the base or something like that. But you never know, to each his own. So I'll see you guys in the next raid. Coming in at number 4, we got myself, Ryan, and I got just over, I think it was about 660,000 loot, quite a bit of dark elixir, like 1,500. Now, I was actually in Masters League at the time, and I was just kind of trophy pushing for a little while. Now, I was using Lunion because it's real easy to get 50%, and I just happened to stumble across this base, which the loot when you're up there, actually I was finding quite a few inactive bases in Masters 3, which I was really surprised about. Now, I wouldn't recommend like training Barch and just straight looking for inactive bases. I found a few more than I thought I was gonna find. Like I didn't really expect to find any inactive bases. Mostly all of the loot was in the like storages. But I guess in a lot of these bases they were just in the collectors and things, and I was really surprised by that. But you could see I was just tactically placing the loons all around the base. Just a few on each wizard tower or air defense or the archer towers, because they were all generally around the base. One of his inferno towers was completely out of dark elixir, so you could see that one was completely off. But the other inferno tower, you could see that's why being up here in Masters is kind of tough when you don't have free spells, because the inferno towers, especially when they're set to group, just mow down your balloons really, really quick. They're almost like a more powerful wizard tower, if you want to put it that way. But they have a lot more hit points as well, so they take a few shots from the loons. Like if you just have one balloon, it's not necessarily going to take it out. Whereas if you have one balloon like just by itself going at a wizard tower, usually it'll take it out. Other than that, basically just taking them out, taking all the little buildings out, dropping my minions in behind, just picking off the outside buildings. Dropped my clan castle here, had some loons in there. Just finished it off with the rest of my minions, and I believe I saved my queen and I drop her down at the bottom as well, or I might use her to take out that dark elixir drill up at the top right, just to make sure I get all this dark elixir, because that's the other reason I was up in Masters, was for trophy pushing and for dark elixir farming. Because if you guys didn't know, dark elixir, the higher you go basically in trophies, the more dark elixir you're gonna find. So like in this raid I got 1,200, my bad, so 1,200 dark elixir, which is really solid, especially since I get the 500 dark elixir bonus from being in Masters 3. And then so overall, if you counted all of it, I would have gotten 400,000 of each, but since we can't count bonuses, and that would be an unfair advantage, especially for like town hall 9s that can get to Masters much more easy. But let's get into the next raid. Coming in at number 3, we have Whopper, and he's using all archers as well, so just like Frank, gonna be doing basically the same thing, just taking those archers and spreading them all around the base, taking out all those outside buildings, and making sure you focus on the elixir collectors and gold mines, because obviously you're coming for the loot. But just gonna place them all around the base, just make sure you take out all those outside buildings, get that 50%, and just move on to the next raid. Pretty simple way of attacking, really easy way to get loot. And definitely probably the most effective way to get loot besides Barch is like all archers, or just using your tier 1 troops in general. So like goblins, archers, and barbs. Those will get you loot the best way if you're going to make the most profit. So getting back into the raid, we see he has some max loons in his clan castle, and those are just going to completely wreck a lot of these defenses most likely, since this base is only a Town Hall 8, but looks like a really, I don't want to say rushed, but like really low level Town Hall 8. Actually, yeah, you could probably call it rushed. But those loons you could see just take out everything, but he already has all his archers gone, so he doesn't really have anything else he could go for. He might drop his king at the bottom, maybe take out that last gold storage, but you also have the enemy king down there just guarding that gold storage. I guess we'll see what he does. Maybe he's gonna wait a little bit here, see what he does. He's got one archer over there to the side. Here comes his king, so he's actually, it looks like he's gonna try to get those 2 elixir storages. Should get him about 15,000 more maybe, because he's got about 23,000 left. So like I said, he probably got just under the 700,000 that he could have stolen, so probably like 680 or so. Puts him at the number 3 spot, and we'll get on to the next raid. Coming in at number 2, we have MakinGains, also known as myself. This is my second account attacking. It's a Town Hall 7 versus Town Hall 7 battle. We got all the loot in the gold mines and elixir collectors, so 440,000 gold and 275,000 elixir, and that comes to a total of just over 700,000 loot, which is good enough to get us the number 2 spot. So I actually had 2 raids in this top 5. There weren't that many submissions this week. I'll definitely try to get the clanmates to work on that for next week. Just try to post up all their loot raids, and I'll try to record as many as I can. Obviously, I can't be on all the time, so I might miss some, but I'll try to get to as many as possible. So as you can see, I'm just taking out these outside buildings. Pretty quick raid. Got those elixir collectors and gold mines down pretty quick, and then I'm just going to take out these outside buildings. My king was upgrading at this point, so I didn't have him for this raid, which was a little bit of a disadvantage. Almost cost me the raid because I just barely got 50%, but that's okay. My clan castle troops are going to come in here. That level 5 wizard on these Town Hall 7s and the minions especially are just going to do work to this base. You can see that level 5 wizard gets me the 50%, and we're going to move on to the next raid. So see you in the next raid, guys. And finally, coming in at number 1, we have Cinbengal from our clan. He's taking on a Town Hall 9 with his attack. Basically looks like he's using the whole bottom row of troops. He's got his wall breakers, giants, goblins, archers, and barbarians. Got a lightning spell with those, and then his king as well. Let's see, he's got 477,000 gold to be stolen and 487,000 elixir, coming in at over 900,000. And that's definitely enough to take our number 1 spot for this week. You can see it almost turned bad. That dragon came out of the clan castle, and that almost made this raid go bad, because dragons against tier 1 troops, that doesn't usually turn out too well. You can see his troops at the bottom take out the town hall before that dragon can get to them. That's the one thing, is if the dragon does come out of the town hall, you could try to do what he does here and just kind of go from the opposite sides of the base, wait a little bit so the dragon can get all the way over to that side of the base, then attack the other side and just kind of play catch with the dragon, so you never really have to deal with it, because the dragons are super slow. So it's really easy to just kind of juggle them around in the middle of the base just so that they never actually touch your troops. Or they might, but it's only after you've taken out the collectors and mines and things. And you can see this raid's already going pretty well. He's already got the victory because he's got the town hall taken out. Just placing that archer over there, so he's going to take that dragon all the way to the corner. Now most people would think he was going to try to take him out in the corner, but he doesn't exactly have any troops that could fire at the air right now, because he only has 7 archers left is what it looks like at this point. So he's just going to drop the rest of his troops over here, try to get that gold mine right in the center of those defenses, and then that elixir collector and the dark elixir drill on the side. Sorry about that. Looks like he's not going to get the 50% on this raid, but it doesn't matter. He already took out the town hall. Not that you're really worrying about the victory, as this is top 5 loot raids. So it doesn't look like he's going to get all of the loot in this raid, but nonetheless, it was a solid attack. You can see he got over 800,000. maybe get 900,000 if he could still take out a couple more of these collectors. So you can see his king's gonna go over there. Looks like his king went down already. Use the ability in time though. Those goblins are gonna take out that last gold mine, and that gives him over 900,000 in loot stolen. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Ryan out.